What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the North Shore 9 postgame show, brought to you by Permanente Brothers. I'm Neil. With me, here is Doug. Doug, are the Pirates back? Is October on?
Yeah, I am excited that they won. I'm excited, most particularly for Paul Skenes. But before we get started, I would like to say the Pirates should fire Ben Cherington now, right now. They should wait, not till tomorrow, not at 9 p.m. right now. They should fire Ben Cherington. They should fire Travis Williams, and MLB should step in and make Bob Nutting sell the team. That being said, yay, 3-0 win against a good team, a home game. That's always nice to see. Paul Skenes pitched 6 outstanding innings, and the offense. I mean, this was the blueprint that they had envisioned at the start of the season, right?
Yeah.
A couple nice defensive plays, scattering, stringing together 9 singles and a couple walks, because we didn't have any extra base hits. But yeah, this is how they're going to have to win. I have no, we're not back. We are not back. I would like to somehow see them, and it seems unlikely, to string things together enough to not finish with an all-time losing record. And that, the team is going to get worse in the next 10 days. And one more thing, Ben Cherington, right here, brother, right here. If you trade Dennis Santana and don't get a player that can impact the team on August 1st of this year, I'm coming for you. I don't this year. He's already chatting about 2026. I want to make the team that makes us better in 2026. His version of making the team better in 2026 is getting some guys, some AA, prospects out of the top 100. So no, don't let him do it, Bob.
All right. Well said.
Sorry.
Well said, Doug. Is it a hot take if I think Travis Williams is the one guy who's good at his job? Just being at PNC, I don't know. I think he's actually done a really good job with the park. I think it's a lot better. It's a lot cooler. There's a lot more stuff to do. I don't know. I think
that may be true, but he has no concept of that the team should try to win. Hey, good pretzels, regardless. Really handled the Clemente thing poorly, really handled the bricks poorly. So, I mean, he says, I don't care at all about Travis Williams because he seems to have no impact on the actual baseball team. So I really don't care. I don't know what he's doing. If he's making Bob more money, you're right. PNC Park seems a little better. Hats off to him for that. But, ultimately, the two problems are the guy right above him and the guy right below him. So.
Yeah. Well, make sure you drop your hashtag raises in chat to earn a chance to win some free Permanente Brothers sandwiches at the end of the show.
I forgot we do that. Yeah,
right.
Hashtag raise it.
It doesn't happen very often, but you finally did. But drop the hashtag raises. We'll hand out sandwiches at the end. I'm a little peeved because I was just in Pittsburgh for the weekend and I had to watch that series in person. And so now I'm happy we won, but I'm just annoyed that I couldn't see anything like that. Because I was not happy a single second I was in PNC Park this week.
Yeah, if you had to choose, right, if you were forecasting how things would go, it's like, well, they're going to win at least a game against the White Sox, and probably struggle against the Tigers. So, yeah, it seems like you chose the right games to go to, but there are no right games to go to.
There are no right games to go to, and I don't care if I lose, status because I was never going to wait in a 3-hour line for any bobblehead. Sorry. Mac Miller is really cool. Never going to happen. But before we get into the game, 100, I would like to accuracy notice, fire Ben Cherington. Don't let him trade Mitch Keller. Don't let him trade anyone with any control. He doesn't deserve it. And I don't want to see him run my team anymore. Now, before we get to the game, BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and with football season around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC, to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline, the game starts here. So I'll start off with this because I'm already kind of in a bad mood because, I watched all the games against the White Sox. But on the other hand, you're right. This is the blueprint for what the Pirates wanted to do. And there are points in today where you see Skenes go 6 really, really good innings. Ashcraft looked great. Santana and Bednar, consistent and solid, all they have been all throughout the year. We're going to get to all that. But the point I want to make is, you can kind of see, you know what? I can see this. We're really not that far off. Fire Sherrington, keep the guys around, and, let's get some offense and get the bats running for next year. And, you probably have a pretty decent shot. However, I then look at the other side of things and say, we scored 3 runs. That's great. We chased Jack Flaherty from the game after 3 innings. That's great.
3 innings, yeah.
And we'll start with the offense today because I think it's most interesting. But 0 extra base hits. They had 9 hits today. And so when I see that, and I'm like, even when we win, this offense still has no power. They can't even hit balls into the gap. And so I'm just like, what are we doing here? I'm glad we win. Glad the offense scored a little bit for Skenes, but at the same time, it's still kind of embarrassing when you get 9 hits, you get all these base runners, and you only put up 3 runs. You don't get a single hit past second base.
How often, Neil, do we have first and second with nobody out, and we get a single, and then we have first, second, third because it's an infield single or it's blooped over? Yeah, I mean, we're not even hitting the singles hard. It's not. Oh, he ripped that single. No. We are dinking and dunking our way. Yeah, this team cannot hit. There is no offense, and you're right. If you squint, it looks like they could be close because the pitching, looks really good. I don't want to talk about anybody in the minors because, I've watched a million guys look great at single A. But you would think that, Brian Reynolds does seem to bounce back after his wife has a baby. I mean, the next season, not within that season. Cruz has been a disappointment, but he's probably going to be real close to 30 and 30. So how disappointing is that really? Horowitz has been a disappointment. Gonzalez, Gonzalez looks like he's going to at least be an average hitter. And my mantra, we need at least 4 of those. So yeah, if you had a competent general manager making trades, and like you said, don't let Cherington trade anybody other than the Pham, Heaney, Ferguson. I don't even want to trade Ferguson, quite frankly, but whatever. Those guys, fine. Let whomever comes in the offseason, and if you have to trade a Bubba Chandler to get a great hitter because you want to keep a proven Keller versus a unproven Bubba, I'm on board. If it's let's hire Jeff Lunau. He cheated with the Astros to win. He wanted to win so much, and he had good players. And boy, he crushed it on his draft picks. His draft picks were great. Springer and Tucker and who else? Bregman and Correa. If we got that kind of production out of our high first round picks, we'd be in pretty good shape. So, but I agree. The offense is not. It's not close. It's not close as much as we'd like to think it is.
Here's the thing: is that I feel like if this is the way that the team wants to go, obviously you can't spend a lot on hitting. It's never going to happen. But and I know we always use this comparison, but just look at the Brewers. The Brewers don't hit the ball hard. If you pull up even Jackson Churio's baseball savant page, he doesn't hit the ball hard. The vast majority of their players don't hit the ball hard. Kind of like the Pirates. They're a small ball team through and through, but what they've done, what Matt Arnold has done with this roster, is that they have gotten a lot of really good defensive players who are speedy and are really, really good on the base paths. They make their own luck. They cause chaos. They put a lot of balls in play. They're not big strikeout guys. And so the Pirates could have done that. But what we're looking at right now is the 4th oldest position player roster, group of players in the bigs. We're not fast. Looking down this lineup, Horowitz isn't fast. You got 38-year-old McCutcheon. Reynolds isn't that fast. Gonzalez Cruz are. Hayes isn't fast. Pham isn't fast. Davis is okay. Like, the point being is that, like, there is a blueprint for what the Pirates are trying to do. But, like, we've gone about it the worst way possible. And, like, so, like, tonight could have been a 5 or 6 run night if this roster is constructed properly, like the Brewers have done.
But we're trying to emulate. Yeah, we're trying to emulate the Yankees, but we're not willing to spend money to get, to trade for Giancarlo Stanton and to keep an Aaron Judge and to trade for a Soto no, right. Just like pitching is expensive, and we've done a fine job of developing, and I would still say that's overrated, right? Skenes is the only real guy that's come up and proven, and Zeus created him on Mount Olympus. But Bubba looks, and Bart looks, and Burrows looks interesting, and Ashcraft looks. But Jared Jones looked good, but he finished poorly. They're not. Now he's been real good at finding and acquiring 4th and 5th starters, and finding some really good bullpen help. But to say factually that we're just a pitching factory is a little overstating it. So yeah, if you're going to try to win with pitching, then why do we have a bunch of poor defensive players playing out of position? And why are we swinging for the fences? I mean, we should be Luis Arias. We should be trying to acquire players like that. He's on the trade block every day, it seems. But that's the kind of players we should be developing. And where's Jim? We should be getting Mitch Jebbs.
No,
and guys like
we should not be. I'm going to cut you off there, Doug. We should not be getting more Mitch.
No, that's just to irritate you. That's just to irritate you. But I mean, again, right? We should be, playing that sort of. Again, when everybody else zigs, a team like us, we need to zag. We cannot play Major League Baseball the same way that the Yankees and Dodgers and Cubs. We're. I'm not asking them to spend more money, and I wish they would. I would just ask that you spend the money they do a lot more wisely. And I don't think Ben's capable of it. And so let's find the next guy up.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Ben, his big marquee acquisition got 3 hits today. Spencer Horwitz getting the lead off today. 3 for 4 with a run and an RBI. His OPS is now up to 634.
634.
It's again, like, really good day from Horwitz. I think he plays a good glove at first, but he's not particularly fast. He's not going to steal you many bases. He's not going to cause a lot of chaos on the base paths. And so I think, like, what I need to see from Horwitz down the stretch is that he needs to start turning these singles into doubles.
Absolutely.
And he needs to start cutting it down on the strikeouts, because no strikeouts today. But again, like, this is one of the better days he's had in a very long time. I think coming into today, he was like 5 for his last 60 something.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned his OPS 634. That's lower than Brian Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Reynolds is having an awful season. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, he had 3 hits, and he still, is not good. You're right. I mean, we knew this guy wasn't a power hitter. But we thought he'd get us 30 doubles, right? And 30 doubles and 15 home runs, and it's just nothing. It's singles. And it's little, again, it's not, it's not hot, into the alley that, into the gap that a guy cuts off with a great defensive play. It's just, flailing out over the second baseman's head, much like when Joey Bart gets a hit. But, the guys that we were counting on for a little pop have not produced. And I mean, nobody has really produced on this team. So
yeah. And so we talk about the actual game, and you had those 3 runs scored. You had Spencer Horwitz in the bottom of the second, singles on a fly ball to right center. It wasn't very well hit, but it drops. And then Brian Reynolds finally comes back. He had a terrible series against Chicago, I felt like. And he singles to the right field, scores 2, and at that point it's over. Like, you've given Skenes a 3-run lead. Skenes does Skenes things. I think Jim mentioned earlier, though, like, this is again another game where we only score in 1 inning.
1 inning.
Like,
yep.
And it bodes well for the rest of the series that you got Flaherty out after 3 innings. You made them burn their bullpen. But, like, I really wish we were able to pour it on. Like,
right.
This
we should have burned more of their bullpen. Right.
Yeah.
We should have burned more of their bullpen by scoring another 3 or 4 runs And you're right. Like I believe me, I was thinking the exact same thing. Oh, that's great. You get Flaherty out. He was on a 10-game win streak against the Pirates, 10 straight wins against the Pirates. But it won't matter tomorrow, right? Whoever they'll throw out there will have a career high in strikeouts and that sort of stuff. We're lucky. Scooble pitched last night, but I don't think that this lineup is going to pose much of a threat, even if they have to go to their bullpen early again. It's just how it is. It's it's some singles. It's the occasional walk. What we 3 walks tonight. It's not. I mean, we have a win. It's a rare win to talk about. We get to give out sandwiches. Paul Skenes got a win, got the decision. I'm excited for him for that. And but you could just watch this game and just be more frustrated than not, right?
Yeah. And one more person I kind of want to touch on is I've kind of been banning this jump for a while, but I think just looking at Henry Davis, and I know it's a little inflated because he gets to catch Paul Skenes, and so obviously he's catching the best pitcher in baseball. It's a little inflated, but I look at his at bats. He hits the ball harder than Bart. He fields much better. I think it's very clear in terms of how the game is called and in terms of how he frames that he is much better at this than Joey Bart. And so I'm going to keep pounding this drum. It's I want to still see Henry Davis get everyday starts. He had an absolute bullet to third base that got caught. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to back this up. I feel like this happened a lot. He's gotten a little unlucky with his hitting. Has he been great? Has he been great? No.
I mean, he hit one to the center field wall today, but yeah. I mean, these kind of things sort of sum up the Pirates and Henry Davis for me. Close, but not quite enough, But no, I agree. I mean, I talk about this with Burrows. Burrows pitches much better when Henry Davis is catching. I think Bailey Falter, they all do. And you're right that Paul Skenes can skew those numbers. But I imagine Paul Skenes wants Henry Davis. He certainly isn't asking for Henry Davis because of his bat, right? He must believe that Henry Davis is the better option. And I trust Paul Skenes' judgment. I trust Paul Skenes' intelligence, more than anybody in that organization. And so, and also, he catches Keller regularly, right? So your 2 best pitchers, your 2 most reliable guys, your 2 most consistent guys, your 2 probably most talented guys want to throw to Henry. I mean, how much more of an endorsement do you need, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he should get the bulk. I don't care if Bart catches day game after night game, blah blah blah. All the little things you do, but he should not be starting more than Henry. It should not be 50-50 or 64. It should be 70.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's 80-20.
Yeah.
And so I don't quite get why the guy you traded on a DFA got traded for on a DFA is getting priority over Henry Davis, your number 1 overall pick.
Oh, that's easy. Our internal analytics say that he's not far from breaking out.
Well, he just needs a couple.
That has never been true.
Balls.
It hasn't happened. But
he needs a couple more ground balls to shortstop. But again, and I'm not even trying to say Henry Davis deserves to be a really good hitter based off what he has, because he hasn't been. But again, way more interesting and again, it's hard to see catchers be substantially better than one another, but I think this is a case where it obviously is.
Yeah, this is pretty clear. And again, it's another message sent from this organization that they're not very good at this. Right. Whatever their priority, whatever their perspective is starting Bart. Is it to try to pump up his value to maybe trade him? Is it to break him out of his funk because we need, whatever it is, it's been clearly wrong all season long. And a guy that you would not let behind the plate in a blowout and you were putting in right field has, surpassed him, has usurped him, or should usurp him as far as getting time behind the plate. You have to be a pretty bad catcher for Henry Davis to be clearly a better. Henry Davis is no threat to win the Gold Glove this year. I mean, he calls a better game. It seems he seems to handle the pitcher better. His framing's not. I think Jim has said this before. He's basically an average catcher defensively, although he's got a great arm and he does control the running game quite well. So that and again, with just how he calls the game, I think that makes him slightly above average. And certainly compared to Joey Bart, Yeah. So I mean, you're as usual. You're exactly right. You're on the nose with that one. It's got to go.
Well, maybe I'm not right about this next one because I'm probably gonna get fired for going 20 minutes into a post game without bringing up the main guy. But let's talk a little bit about Paul Skenes. I mean, not that we can't say really all that much that hasn't been said, but just another fabulous 6 innings from Paul Skenes. 3 hits, six strikeouts, 1 walk. He had 1 inning where things got a little hairy, but I mean, finishes on 86 pitches. He could have easily gone a 7th inning. The Tigers had no answer for this guy whatsoever, and he lowers his season ERA to 1.91. Over 44 career starts, Paul Skenes has a career ERA under 2.
It's 1.94, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm old, right? I've seen Walter Johnson pitch. I saw Vern Law. I saw Steve Carlton the year he won 27 games on a 59-win team. The fact that he started the All-Star games, both of his first 2 seasons. Again, no one has ever done that. And I remember Fernando Mania when he came up and just lit up the baseball world. And Dwight Gooden's first couple of seasons, they did not start the All-Star game in their first 2 seasons. Justin Verlander won Rookie of the Year. He did not start his first 2 seasons. I mean, this is incredible what this guy's doing. We're so lucky, and we're squandering. And that's where the frustration. We're just squandering. Yeah. The Pirates do not need to win 98 games, right? They need to sneak into the playoffs and let Paul Skenes win 3 games in a 7-game series. And then let a Mitch Keller or a Jerry Jones or Johan Avia, any one of these guys come up and get one for you. And they're capable. They're good enough. My only complaint with Paul Skenes is that he doesn't go deep enough in games, and I don't think that has anything to do with him. So,
I mean, that used to be like the one criticism you can make about his game is that like he was inefficient at times. But like, again, he's a rookie pitcher starting both All-Star games. Like, there's a special talent out there. And again, just the way that he fights through having runners on. Like, I didn't even flinch when Parker Meadows hit a leadoff double against him.
I got a little nervous. We just scored the 3 runs, and I thought, oh no. Paul Skenes has caught pyrititis. He's going to give up runs immediately after we score runs. And then we don't.
Which is fair.
Yeah, when we don't get the out next, like close, but we that was very piratey. That the guys on second base, they hit a single and he doesn't advance. I mean, I for a minute I had to like rub my eyes and make sure that this the Pirates weren't up at bat in that situation. And then but it's still Paul Skenes. You're like, if anybody can get out of it, it's Paul Skenes, and he does, right?
Yeah,
he does.
And I love this pitcher. I almost feel bad for Zach Wheeler at this point.
Yeah,
because I love Zach Wheeler. He's such a great pitcher. Even though he's on the Phillies, he does my fantasy team really well.
Yeah.
And he's never won a Cy Young, and I really think he deserves one. But he doesn't deserve one this year.
No,
at this rate,
he's not better.
Paul Skenes just is that dominant.
Yeah,
and even in the limited innings, the Pirates have put him on rest. Like, they haven't really let him go over 90 pitches in a while. It doesn't matter. He still goes 5 or 6 innings. He won't blow up. I think he has had 1 actual bad start. Like, again, like, this guy is just special. I am never going to get tired of seeing Paul Skenes start.
I mean, it's really the only thing to watch the rest of the year. Paul Skenes pitch, and to see if Paul Skenes can win the Cy Young. That's it. There's nothing. I mean, maybe like if Bubba comes up or something along those lines, that would be great. But I mean, Skenes is the attraction. He is the reason to watch the Pirates right now. And again, squandering that. Right, that there should have been 35,000 people in that place tonight because Paul Skenes is pitching, and when Paul Skenes pitch, we're going to win because we're going to score the 4 or 5 necessary runs to make sure. But here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live in Pittsburgh, but I mean, I feel like, and I'm a diehard. Like, I'm one of the sickos out here. If I lived in Pittsburgh, I would be in the stadium every time Paul Skenes is pitching.
I would too. I've seen him pitch 4 times this year. Right. I mean, I've gone to 6 games this year. 4 of them were Paul Skenes games. And for those who were suggesting there might be a North Shore 9 curse, I'm 4-2 in the games I went to this year. So
I'm 0-4.
Well, we'll come fix that because I'm going to come visit you for the Baltimore Washington thing in September.
Yes.
So and we can win those. But yeah, it's if I was there, right, I would buy the ballpark pass, and those would probably be the only games I'd go to just the skiing start. Maybe go see Keller once in a while, or again, I'd like to see. I mean, I'm a sicko too. I'd probably end up going to more than I care to admit.
Yeah. No, so again, it's hard to really keep talking about Paul Skenes just because he is that dominant. And so we're gonna have a little North Shore 9 party in Baltimore, Washington when the Pirates are there. It's gonna be sick.
Listen, I got a lot of good juju, but I don't know if I have enough to overcome the Rosati curse. That's a lot to ask of a 107-year-old man. I mean, that'll take years off my remaining life. But I'm up to it.
Jim and I must be 0 for 12 going to games this year. It must be absolutely brutal. But yeah, I mean, and finally, I guess we can touch on the bullpen. Ashcraft, really liked what I saw from him today. Looked really good. Had that one walk, but did it pretty well. Dennis Santana gets his ERA down to 1.49 on the year. He strikes out 3 in his inning.
Don't trade him, Ben Cherington, unless you get a starting left fielder that has an OPS of 8 or above.
I mean, yeah, he's just.
And I'm not saying that's what a value of a reliever is, but I'm just saying I do not want a bad hitting middle infielder with no power who can't play shortstop and isn't very good defensively at second base. I just don't want that.
Well, luckily for us, the Phillies just signed David Robertson. Yeah, and Santana was heavily linked to the Phillies, so hopefully that lowers the chances. That is my hot take, and Bednar was also extremely dominant today.
Yeah. 13th consecutive save, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think the broadcast said he's the longest save streak. I think you keep Santana over Bednar. Santana is just that good, and he's been that good for over a calendar year. That if you're not trading both, I keep Santana. And again, I understand the Pittsburgh connection, but
I have to say, I have to speak to Jake quick. Jake, are you sort of new? Ben Cherington does not get good return in trades. You're right. If this was any other GM, I'd be like, yeah, I'm one of those guys. If you get good return, trade him. Go right ahead. I'm all for it. Nobody's untouchable to me. But Ben Cherington is going to get Billy Cook. Ben Cherington's going to get Yoshi Susugo. He's going to get Josh Van Meter. He's going to get Hoy Park. He's going to get Jack Sawinski, and Tucupita Marcano, right there with the bet slip in his pocket. So I mean, no.
I mean, again, it does not make any sense to let Ben Cherington trade someone like Santana. Even if you want the new guy to trade Santana in the offseason, that's better.
I'm not saying
Cherington's best trade piece is Bailey Falter.
Right.
That's the best player he's ever gotten in a trade.
Yeah.
It's just you don't let him trade your valuable assets, and if he does that, if he's allowed to, that just makes me feel like he's here next year, and that's just something I can't mentally think about. I don't want to think that as a possibility, or else I'm going to crash out. So I'm not going to.
No, I understand why a regular team with a regular general manager would consider trading Santana at this time, right? Mm-hmm. Relievers probably have more value at the trade deadline than they do in the offseason, versus the starter thing. But yeah, first of all, if we trade both Santana and Bednar, we might not win another game. I mean, you ready to see Kyle Nicholas as your closer?
Trading both of those guys is kind of really raising the white flag that they don't think they can compete in 26,
right?
Which is probably true. Which is probably a factual thing. But again, when I sit back and what I said at the beginning of the show, thinking about a playoff game where you go to Skenes for 6 or 7 innings and then you immediately hand the ball over to Santana and to Bednar, or Bednar to Santana.
Yep.
You have Ashcraft there if you need an extra inning.
Right.
That is where I sit back and I'm like, this team can actually make the playoffs, and this team could actually win playoff games.
Right.
But again, like, the offense is just nowhere near enough to supplement like what these pieces could be in a 1-game elimination.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, it just comes down to that none of us have any faith in Cherington. Like, right, we should be excited. Oh, look at all these interesting pieces we have to, that we can trade and bring back something valuable. Again, considering trading Keller as well as he's pitching right now, I mean, you should get a guy that walks right into the lineup, and we're going to get a guy that goes to AAA if we're lucky, but more than likely AA. And Ben Cherington's going to give a word salad about, we really think he's a big part of our future. We're really excited about him. He's going to have to beat out Tamar and Nick and all these other second basemen we have to play shortstop. But so I just have no faith.
Unless we're getting someone like Jaron Duran or Jason Dominguez.
Yeah,
you keep Keller. And I don't think any of those teams would give that up for Keller just because of the money he's making and his track record in the past. But
and good teams, they're getting Keller because they want to make the playoffs. So they want to give up prospects. They're willing to give up prospects because they want their major league roster to stay intact. And so that's why it makes no sense to trade Keller at the deadline. And so you can trade him in the offseason, and then it's a baseball trade. It's not just hey, a team can look and say, all right, we want to get Keller. We're going to have to give up Dominguez. So now, in free agency, we have to sign an outfielder type thing. That's something the Yankees could do. So,
Yeah. Well, Mark, that's kind of what I'm saying, Mark. Like, yes, like, it's not happening, which is why I'm kind of been pounding the drum that don't trade Keller, because unless you get someone that's otherworldly like Jason Dominguez, then it's not worth your time, which is kind of like the whole point. But you're right. Like, we're not getting him. Like, and
exactly.
He doesn't have the ability to negotiate that.
No, he could not. He cannot pull off that trade. He can get Billy Cook, right? He can get, similar. He can get Jack Sawinski, right? Hoy Park. Hoy Park's leading the International League in batting average. Well, yeah, yippee, right?
Yeah, well, it seems like
he'll be good for Indy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Seems like we've exhausted the game. So let's.
We've gone off. I apologize to the corporate overlords. We have done not enough, play-by-play for the game.
As I am completely blanking on how to share my screen.
It's been so long since you've had to do it, right? I mean, you learn things by repetition. Get that hashtag raise it in there for boys and girls.
Get the hashtag raise it in. We're at 108.
Like, subscribe, join the Patreon.
Yeah, 108. We'll do a couple more seconds to get your raise it in, and then we're going to draw our sandwiches. All right. Seems like 109. All right, we're going to go.
There you go. Good luck.
All right. Congrats, JL Sheldon 42.
Bazinga.
Please, bazinga. Please reach out to us in any of our socials or email, and we will get that over to you. And then we're going to draw one more.
We should do 4 more.
Got to make up for a weekly quota.
We've got a stack of these things left. Right?
And Christopher Coburn, congratulations.
Congratulations, Chris.
Please reach out to North Shore 9 and we will get you your code. All right. Well, Doug, do we have anything else we want to talk about? We're 34 minutes in.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if I've covered any of this yet. Fire Ben Cherington now. And don't let him trade Dennis Santana for a bag of balls. Or anybody, not just Dennis Santana. Don't let him, again, if he trades a player that's got some control left that can help now, I'm on board. but he cannot do that. That's not the kind of trade he knows how to make. And he's always worried about the team 3 years down the road than the team that's on the field now.
Yep, I agree. But then we're going to get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for everyone joining, and hopefully you guys are here for the next. Hopefully, when tomorrow we're able to have more sandwiches. We don't get to do that.
We could have a 2-game winning streak. It's possible. Things like this have happened before.
Yeah, not very often, but in the age of Donnie Ball, who knows? All right, we're gonna get out of here. I'm Neil. This is Doug. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.